Hi, welcome to Colors of Cariboo. I'm your host, Rohan Keenan. So we're back at the Cariboo Art Beat Studio, the same place where we interviewed Tiffany Jorgensen last season. Now, why are we here, you might ask? Well, apart from Tiffany being not only just a wonderful human being to be around, we actually partnered with her to do a special project this summer that we want to show you right now. Since we had gotten so much support from the community, we decided we needed to give something back. So we held a live showing of our first episode back in April when the series dropped, and took donations and gave every cent of that money to Tiffany so she could host kids' art classes during the summer. Tiffany hosted 19 students and taught them all about artistry, camaraderie, how to paint, how to be messy, and how to have fun. And of course, the podcast did come up as a topic of conversation. So when my wife Lucille and I came here to say hi to everyone, we got hit with a flurry of requests saying, I want to be on the podcast. And so we decided, hey, why not? Let's have everyone on the podcast. 12 interviews in one day, featuring amazing perspectives on art and an emerging passion for being an artist. In fact, these were so incredible, we decided we had to split them into 2 special episodes, just so people didn't get overwhelmed with the spectacular artists that we had on show. It was fun, it was great, and we couldn't have done it without the support of the parents, the kids, and of course our good friend Tiffany. Oh, hello!
Howdy!
Hey, thanks for having us here today.
Thanks for coming.
We appreciate that. So, I'm just about to finish the intro. Do you want to help me out?
Yeah.
Sounds good. So, grab a chair, grab a drink,
Hold on to your hats and glasses.
and let's get started. Welcome to Colors of Cariboo, Stories of Wild Creativity.
Today's episode was filmed and recorded on the traditional, unceded territory of the Secwepemc peoples, specifically the Tohoukam, or Williams Lake First Nations Band, and the Hatzel, or Soda Creek Band.
Hi, welcome to the show. Can I get your name, your age, and your favorite color?
Yes. Hi. My name is Rhaelle Whitty. I'm 12 years old, and my favorite color is many colors, but my favorite one is red.
Red's a great color. I love red. So you have been doing art for a little bit now here. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. I started doing art when I was like 2, and my mom was really happy when I started doing it on paper instead of the walls and the tables and the doors. And I remember this one time, I was screeching at my dad. My mom has a video. I was screeching at my dad because he said I have to draw on the paper and not on the coffee table.
So you found yourself with like the canvas of art, just kind of wanting to draw and paint the world around you.
Yes, kind of.
And now you've moved it to a bit more of traditional canvas, just like what we've got back here.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about why you like art? Why is art important to you?
Well, it's kind of important to me because I think it just makes the world look better, as instead of just like plain white and black, colors around looks pretty cool. Like colored cars instead of just like black and white.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that all of our cars are basically like black, white, or gray.
I usually punch my brother when I see a yellow car and a punch buggy.
Well, it's good to know that that tradition goes on. I remember doing that when I was a kid too. So, but yeah, no, I like that point. Being able to have a colorful world is just it's so cool to be able to see that. So when you are making your art, where do your ideas come from? What inspires you?
Reading books, looking on like Google and Pinterest, and listening to songs. They give me ideas.
So what kind of books and songs do you like to listen to?
I like to listen to like teen rock music and like pop songs. And usually I'm like thinking of like scenarios in my head when I'm reading and listening to music. And so some of those ideas just like pop into my head. Like if it's like a certain song, like She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy or whatever, that song's pretty catchy. I usually like draw a tractor or something, attempt.
Okay, so yeah, taking direct inspiration from the things that you like, which is really neat. And so do you, for the work that you have here, what were the inspirations behind these 2 pieces?
So I usually like drawing eyes just because I like to hang them above my brother when he's sleeping. And he wakes up to him. every single morning almost I get to hear him scream Rhaelle, like Alvin and the Chipmunks. And for this one, I tried to follow a Bob Ross tutorial. You can see it's like the green back there.
Oh, yeah.
And then that was like a failed attempt. And then later I was painting this. And I was like looking for a canvas to paint on. I saw this and I thought, well, I could make this into something. And so this is why I painted like the trees and the mountains and stuff. Kind of like the foresty vibe.
Yeah. I like the fact that part of your art is to scare your brother. That is a very noble pursuit of art, I think. And then I also like the fact that you were talking about how you said that you thought you'd made a mistake here, and then you turned it into something different, right? Do you have a favorite type of art? How do you like to do art? Do you just do painting? Do you do other mediums?
Well, I like to paint, obviously. But I like to like do different types of media all the time. Like I'll take paper and I'll do like one side just like cartoony, and then one side it's like be a random character. One side will be realistic, and I'll use like paint, watercolor, pencil crayons, markers, you name it.
Now, another question, is there anything that you want to do with art?
So something that's been on my mind that I haven't done because I don't have sand, is I've been wanting to take sand, paint, and like chop off the top of a glue stick and like mix it all together and like smear it around at like different textures. And then when it dries, I want to like feel it.
Oh, so you're kind of doing like not just like a visual art, but like a texture art, something that you've got multiple senses working in there. That's really neat.
I like feeling things.
Feeling things is neat.
It always scares me. Like, you know, Scout Island, where they have like those boxes where you put your hands in, you have to like feel the skulls. It always like makes me creepy.
But I think it's neat to be able to like feel different things too, because I think some people just look at a picture, and especially with like our phones and our tablets now, everything just feels flat and glassy. And it's really neat to hear that you're wanting to like explore more with like textures and sands and different things. Or is there anything else that you were wanting to try to do with different types of art?
Well, probably macaroni as well. Like put glue, hot glue, or like just like glue it on like rows.
Yeah.
And then like probably take like the thick acrylic paint, and I'll probably just like smear it over and see if it'll like fill in the cracks, and then I'll see what it feels like afterwards. I'll probably try that on the big canvas I have at my home, half.
Well, speaking of that, what's your favorite piece of art that you've ever made?
Like on paper, my mom got me this AR drawing app, and I found a skull, like a side view of a skull, and I traced it and I colored it in, and it turned out really good. And so that's probably one of my favorite. And another one is just like yesterday in school, we were drawing on a piece of paper for an orange shirt, and I had saw a person like draw an eye on it, so I drew an eye on it looking upwards, and then I used like light peach and made it look like realistic, and it turned out really well. So
nice.
Probably that one as well.
That sounds really neat. So it's good to know that like it's good to have favorites, I find.
My name is Winter. I am 10 years old, and my favorite color is blue.
Hey, good. I love blue. Blue's a great color. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the art that you make?
I really like traveling. I like rainbows a lot.
Traveling and rainbows. What's your favorite place to travel to?
Mexico.
Mexico. That's nice. I've never been to Mexico. It's do you see lots of rainbows in Mexico?
No.
And how about here? Do you like seeing the rainbows here in the Cariboo too?
Yeah.
Excellent. And so I do kind of get that you like the rainbows, considering that I see like a lot of rainbow motifs in here. Is that kind of like an inspiration of you to be able to paint rainbows?
Yeah.
Nice. And so like why do you think art is important, and why do you like doing art?
You can show your personality in it.
Nice. And that's the reason that you like making art as well?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, no, it's a really pretty good reason to do that and be able to express yourself, to be who you want to be. Is that kind of what you're doing with the artwork that you have here?
Yeah.
Nice. So with the art that you've done, can you tell us like what were you thinking of when you were painting these paintings here?
Two of them, well, most of them were with Tiffany. One of them I just followed Tiffany. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have a pretty good mentor like Tiffany, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you been painting with Tiffany for that long?
Like a year.
Like a year? That's pretty good then. And this is what you've got. This is really impressive. So, were you doing painting before that? Nice. Now, what other types of mediums do you use? Do you mainly use paint? Do you do drawing? Do you do sculpting?
I paint a lot and I draw a lot.
Nice. And do you draw things to what you paint here?
No,
No. What kind of things do you draw?
just like nature scenes.
Oh, nice. And is that inspired, is the nature inspired from everything around you, or do you look up Google stuff?
Around me.
Around me? Nice. There's a lot of really neat things to see in the Cariboo here. And what's your favorite thing to draw?
Like mountains.
Like mountains? Yeah, mountains are pretty cool. Do you have a favorite mountain?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I have a favorite mountain either. I just like mountains. So, now with yourself there, is there anything that you would like to do with art in the future? Do you have any big projects that you would love to be able to do?
More spray painting.
More spray painting? And what type of spray painting stuff?
More spray painting on like canvases and like kind of rainbow colors.
Nice. And so with the rainbow colors, do you have what's your favorite type of rainbow to do?
I don't know.
Kind of as long as it's rainbow, that's important?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Who needs to limit yourself with rainbows? So I did hear that you went to your first concert recently.
Yeah.
And where was that, and who did you see?
I went to Las Vegas and I went to Millennium 2.0 with Backstreet Boys.
Nice. That is awesome. Have you ever listened to the Backstreet Boys before that?
I love Backstreet Boys.
Good. Who doesn't love the Backstreet Boys? What's your favorite song of theirs?
Everybody.
Yeah. I don't think you can really go wrong with that at all. So.
I'm Ella Iverson. I'm 11 years old, and my favorite colors are purple and green.
Nice. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the art that you do?
I really like painting and drawing, and I kind of sometimes like to color, but normally sketching or painting or drawing. I live in the forest, and we live off-grid, and I love just looking around and seeing what to draw, and that's why I have so many animals drawings, because I just like looking at the dogs and drawing them or thinking of drawing a dog, and that's all.
Yeah. It's really good to be able to take inspiration from the place that you live at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've got some fantastic drawings here. I love the dogs. I'm wondering in the Cariboo where the T-Rex was, but
That I was drawing for a friend of ours, but then I loved it too much and I wanted to keep it.
So what type of mediums do you do art in? I know you've got drawing, you've got some painting. Do you do any other things that's artistic, dancing, skating, or anything like that?
We do skating. It's my how many years have I been skating for? So junior. 2 years.
2 years. And so you do skating as well as painting and drawing too.
Yes.
That's a lot. That's a lot to keep yourself busy. So I bet you're never in trouble.
Once with a bat, and then the next day we had a bat in our house. Well, the night we got a bat, but that wasn't about anything.
Yeah. What happened to the bat?
Oh, it flew out and it was in my room.
Oh, that's scary.
I hate bats.
That is, yeah, I can see how that can happen, especially if it's in your room at night and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Nope. The bat can just stay out of the room.
Yeah, that day, but we left the door open a lot, like a lot.
So how long have you been painting with Tiffany?
2 years.
2 years, nice. And what's your favorite thing about being able to paint with other people?
I don't know. I normally like painting by myself or drawing by myself, but sometimes I like painting with other people because then I get to see what they're doing.
And do you take inspiration off of that?
Yes.
It's good. I find working with other people is like it can be good to be by yourself, and then sometimes it's good to work with others as well.
Yeah.
Especially if they're trying to teach you something. So,
Mm-hmm.
and you've been learning a lot from Tiffany's class?
Yes, a lot.
Perfect. That is, yeah, that's good. I'm sure she's very happy to hear that. I'm very happy to see that as we look at her and she's smiling. Can I ask you, why is art important to you?
Because I just like doing it and it's fun and I don't know. I just like doing it a lot. Like when I'm bored, I do it. I've been doing it a lot lately. Like
I think that is I think that's a good answer. To do something that you like is, yeah, that's just great to be able to do that. So when it comes to making kind of your stuff, you've been doing art for a couple of years, right?
yes.
And so, like, what kind of stuff have you ended up doing? Have you done any like art shows or anything like that?
I was in the art walk last year and this year, and I think those were the only years I was in it. Yeah.
And that's really neat. How was it being in the art walk? How did that feel?
It's fun because somebody came over to our house once and asked if we were in the art walk, and I can't remember who, but they said I saw your paintings and they were really good.
Oh, that must be a really good feeling. And especially if they came to your house to ask that. That one, yeah, that's really good. What was your favorite part of being in the art walk?
Because I got to show everybody the things that I can do, and by drawing and painting, spray painting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to be able to work hard and then to be able to show off what you've worked there.
Yeah.
You kind of I always feel that when you make something, you put a little piece of yourself in there, and then when you show it off to the world, you're showing a piece of yourself to the world.
Yeah.
And that could be really tough for people, but I'm really happy to hear that that's something that you're doing and you're happy doing. So is there anything that you would like to make in art? Any big project? If you could do anything with art, what would it be?
To sell it. I got a few spray paintings for our grandma and grandpa because we were going there in like a week, and I wanted to do a spray painting for them because I did the pink one right there with Tiffany, and then I wanted to do it again, and then Mom said if I get good enough at it, I might be able to sell them.
That's very true. That's like you make the stuff, and that's like a good step there, but it's when you sell the stuff that's also like a really good feeling too, because yeah, again, somebody is valuing your work to be like, yeah, I like that, I want that on my wall there.
Yeah. And I also get a big money.
I mean, yeah, that is part of that is also pretty good too. I'm not going to deny it. That's pretty cool. And so is there, you mentioned earlier that some of your inspirations are the animals that you have. What kind of animals do you have at home?
We have 3 dogs, but one our grandpa has, and we take care of him a lot. And we have pigs and 2 cats. One we found in the ditch and adopted him. And that's all we have.
I am a fan of all of those animals. When I was a kid, I raised pigs for 4-H all the time.
Yeah, we don't do 4-H, but we sell them.
Yeah, and that's pretty. It's a different style of life, isn't it? To be able to raise pigs and to look after them that way.
Yeah.
And to be able to look for animals in anything. And you obviously get inspired by the animals as well. So that's an even better reason to have animals around too. So
yeah.
Oh, and you raise the pigs yourself too?
Yes, we the buckets of food are too heavy, so we get the grain ready and everything, and we dump the scrap bowls, and we get some money after selling them.
Make sure they get water, make sure they have a nice little mud hole to dig in.
Yeah, they have a lot of mud.
That was always my favorite part about pigs. It's just the mud holes. We just sit there with a hose and just make a big mud hole.
It's really fun.
Put on a pair of big rubber boots, gum boots, and just go slog in with the pigs too. I never fell in the mud. Have you fallen into mud before with pigs?
No, but I did spray them once because I love cleaning them, and then like the mud just drips off and it's so satisfying, and then they shake. I get it.
Oh,
on
yeah,
me.
yeah. Especially with their ears, they make that sound that like
Yeah.
And then when they get happy, they got their little their little curly tails wiggle too. So
Yeah.
I like pigs. Pigs are pretty neat.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Tiffany. And are we telling like truth about age or
I mean, I can't really fact check it. Well, I didn't need to check your ID before we came on. So
all I can tell you is that I have a dog that's 6 months old. And then I have and my husband is way older than me.
perfect. And what's your favorite color?
Just kidding, he's fine. Oh, all the colors. Black. Black. But especially all of them. Yeah.
Thanks for coming back onto the show.
Thanks for having me. You guys are the best.
And it takes one to know one. Can you actually tell us, like, yeah, so what kind of happened with the art class? How did that go? How many kids? Just tell us a little bit about that.
So I think that we ended up having 19 kids. And so it filled up like really quickly and it was amazing. So they were between 10 and 13. We decided to do it for that age group just because like there's stuff specifically grouped for teenagers. Like I know everybody wants more things. Like it's a small town, so like everybody is super pumped about getting everything out there for kids. But and then there's lots of stuff for younger kids. But for that age group, I find that I get lots of art kids. Like that's when I start getting my art kids. And when art kids come to me, they stay till they are getting jobs and they have like to study for calculus after school and they have boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever. And yeah, just like life gets to be a little bit more adulty for them. So anyway, that's what every time everybody comes to me is like kind of between 10 and 13 years old. So it was a great age. And it's also a really great age group as well because like when the little kids come, like the really little kids, they just like will slap paint on canvases and it's perfect. They're like, this is great. Like I couldn't have done this any better. Oh, do you want help? Nope. Like I got this. Like great. And then there's the grown-ups like in the classes that they're like so judgmental of themselves and they need everything to be perfectly, and everyone who comes for like even just like a paint and sip party, they expect their art to look exactly like mine, and I'm like a professional artist, so like I feel like mine would be better, I hope, because I practice all the time where they wouldn't, right? And then but they become so really self-critical. And like I was someone actually an art class that I just did last night, someone wanted to come with their 8-year-old and I was like I could teach this to 8-year-olds for sure and like I would have no problem, but I just like I could teach this to a group of 8-year-old like 28-year-olds in 45 minutes, and then you guys like there's no way I could do this for adults in less than 2.5 hours just because like they need things to be perfect and like they keep working it and which is, you know, like can be like a really great quality for a lot of ways, including in the arts. But it's just sometime between when kids are really little and when kids are grown-ups, they lose that satisfaction and the joy and like the emotion that goes into art. Then, and like there's a lot of people like you and I, for instance, that don't ever, right? But sometimes you gotta kind of remind yourself, right? And so between like 10 and 13 is an age group where kids are like they're really impressionable and they kind of like don't really know who they are and they feel like they need to know who they are, which they 100% don't, because like, do you know who you are? Like, who are you even?
I ask myself that question every single day. I look in the mirror and I was like, who is this hairy person?
Yeah, right. So yeah, and so it's just a really great age group because in school they teach art based on motor skills. They're teaching art and they're like, here you go, here are some mediums to try, so like you can experiment. Even like in middle school and high school, they're like, here are the mediums that you have and then this is how you do it, this is the way, here you go, here's the way to do it, and then we're going to mark you. And so for me, like it's so important to me to just like remind kids that that's not what it's about. It's purely about creativity and about like expressing yourself, and you can learn techniques and you can learn The kids are coming in and I just really like them. Yeah. And it's so inspiring to see them because like you had asked me before about like what is the difference in evolution? Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like because you work with so many different ages, like what's kind of, you've mentioned a little bit of just like you start with like the younger ages and like that freedom that like just like, yeah, I'm gonna paint whatever I want. And like how does it feel with seeing the evolution of from somebody young to somebody getting a little older to somebody getting older and reaching a point where they've become more of a realized individual, especially with their own artwork?
Yeah. So, kids just like want to make pretty things. Like, when they come in and they want to make a mess and they want to have the space and the time to be able to do that. And that's really hard because I have kids and it's not really that fun if they like destroy your house, like I wish it was, but here you go. Like, here's a space that this is what we're doing, right? Like, we're just making beautiful messes. So, kids come in here and they're like, "Oh, what are we painting?" And like they love art. The kids who come here, they love art. So it's like a different crew. They're focused, they're into it already. And then I'll be like, "You get to do whatever you want." And they go, "Oh," and they know exactly what they want to do and then they go do it, right? The little kids. And even the older kids, like they'll come in one day and they'll start a project and then the next day they'll be like, "I'm not into that, but I do have this new idea." So they'll have like 3 open brand new projects and they're like so pumped about it. So I think that just like kind of them realizing that they have the space to be able to do that. Cause even when I teach classes, I'll be like birthday parties, for instance, like I do birthday parties and I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to teach this. If you want to do something else, or if you have a better way to do it, like give her, I'm never going to tell you what to paint." And so some kids do, like I'll end up with like a young birthday party and there'll be like 12 kids and like 8 of them have done something like painted like a cat and Batman and like whatever they want to do, right? And then the parents are the ones that are like, and not all the parents, but the parents are like, "Oh, you should try to do this way." And I'll just be like, "Oh no, she doesn't have to." Right? Like, and like no judgment, but like I get it because that's how we are raised. Like if this is what you're supposed to do, then that's what you do, right? Like even in school, and like by all means, like I tell my kids, like, do what you're supposed to do and like get the good grades. And then when it comes to art, do whatever you want. But that's the difference. Like there's a separation between it, right? Like you can learn skills and you can learn techniques but yeah.
Yeah, well, I think one important thing too, and like, and this also comes from like some of the kids we've already interviewed today, is that you give people permission to be messy.
Yeah.
And we live in a world that like wants to be clean and neat and tidy and but like being able to be messy is a form of expression. And yeah, we don't talk about that as much. And yeah, kids like to be messy. I like to be messy. If I would just like to just throw paint on a wall. Some people were saying throw sponges on the wall, and being able to give that permission, that freedom is just like, it's so vital. And it must be so interesting to watch kids be that way.
It's so great too, because like if you see like abstract art gets like a bad rap sometimes, right? Because unless you're like an interior designer or an art collector or an art connoisseur or an artist, people are like, "Oh, well, it's just like a bunch of stuff." And it's like, no, the reason why that is so valuable is because it emanates a feeling. And with kids, before they have the techniques and before they have the skills, it's just emanating feeling. Like that's all they have in there. And like obviously like some kids are like much further ahead than others. Hi everyone. Yeah. I'm sorry, you're so cute and distracting. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think it's great. I think that no matter what medium it is, kids need to be creative, whether it's like building a playhouse and like, like you can learn the skills to hammer nails in properly and like drill and do all the kind of stuff. But like the design, that's up to you. Right? Or like the resources, like find what you have and use what you have. Right?
Well, it's mixing both of them together. You need to be able to like, you need to, at the end of the day, be able to like have some understanding of how it gets put together. But once you understand how it gets put together, that's when you can like really mess and change everything
Yeah,
around.
totally.
If you understand, like for painting, if you understand colors, if you understand how the paint works, then you can just like you're free to break the rules.
100%. And it's like to stifle like that form of intelligence too,
Yes.
because it's be like, this is what I want to do. How am I going to get there? There's like all these steps to do it. And if you're just figuring it on your own, that's great. Like they say that in the world, the CEOs and like the most successful people in the world have creative minds, right? And it's just like it's troubleshooting. So it's about taking an idea and like having the forgiveness within yourself and like understanding like your own skill levels and stuff too, but like also the desire and the passion and the dedication to be able to like put forth that idea. Like, yeah. And it's just, that's what we're here for.
Well, and
I don't
when we-
remember the question.
That's all right. I remember when we came in, because you invited us to come talk to the kids when you were doing the art classes there, and like just seeing all of the stuff that was going on, the variety between the different, from one kid to the next kid, how excited they were and how like happy they were to be able to be here was like, yeah, it's like you can't, I mean, I wasn't able to look at that and not feel inspired, and wasn't able to look at that and be like,
Yeah.
I definitely was like, how can I shave and pretend to be 10 too?
Yeah,
Or-
100%. I'm easily fooled.
and it was,
I'm inspired every day
Yeah.
by these kids, like just because of their individuality and because of just, yeah, appreciating who they are. It's just really cool.
I'm Paige, and my favorite color is blue and pink. And what was that? And I'm 8 years old.
8 years old, and you have blue and pink for your favorite colors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty good colors. Why don't you can you tell me what your favorite painting here is that you've made?
This one, the drawing.
Yeah.
The,
And who is that?
none of our dogs.
None of your dogs?
No, I just drew a dog.
Hey, that's pretty good and like, did you look at a picture or did you
Yeah.
just draw from your memory?
I drew a picture. I looked at a picture.
That's really talented. Do you like drawing a lot?
Yeah.
Nice. When do you usually draw animals?
Yeah.
And are dogs your favorite animal to draw?
Yeah.
Perfect. I like drawing dogs too. I'm not very good at drawing dogs, but I have fun drawing dogs. Now, can you tell me, why do you like drawing and painting?
I don't know.
You don't know? That's perfectly. You know what? I don't think you need to know why you like drawing or painting, as long as you just like drawing and painting. Yeah. And have you been drawing and painting for very long?
Yes.
Yes. How long?
Wait. How long was I?
You've been painting since you were a baby, but
Yeah.
you've been with Tiffany for 2 years.
Yeah.
You've been painting since you were a baby?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. And you've been painting with Tiffany for a couple of years here too?
Yeah.
Nice. What's your favorite thing about painting with Tiffany?
I don't know.
Do you like painting with other people?
No, not really.
Kind of a solo artist doing your own thing.
Yeah.
And do you like painting with Tiffany do you like what she teaches you?
Yes.
Yeah? What's your do you have a favorite thing of what she's taught you before?
She taught me how to do a sunflower, and then I started doing so many different kind of flowers.
That's really neat. I really like sunflowers a lot too.
Yeah.
So I heard that you like I think it's I'm going to clarify with you. She likes using your old photo pictures.
The old paint night sample.
Yeah.
And then she picks one that she likes.
I saw a mushroom on one of them, and then I just started painting some mushrooms, and then Tiffany helped me do them.
And that's from the old paint nights pictures that she's done.
Yeah.
That's really neat, because it's like she's helping you find something that you want to paint, and then she teaches you how to paint that.
Yeah.
And is that this painting right here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really neat. I like the detail on the mushrooms there. And and that's your signature right in the corner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good signature. I like that. Well, how do you choose which paint night photos that you like?
I don't know.
No worries. Like, yeah, so like, do you like pictures, you like things like, you like looking at colors? Do you like looking at shapes?
I like looking at the colors, and sometimes I look at the colors and then on my other paintings, and then it's like I should use that color and put it on with the other paint on the other painting.
That is a really good way to look at it. It's nice to be able to look at other people's works and be like, hey, I want to use some of that. Kind of almost like it gives you permission to take some of their stuff and then get messy with it.
Yeah.
And you've got in the corner here is, can you tell me what this painting is about?
I can't explain it.
What is it?
A unicorn with a unicorn. I saw, I think, a painting. Yeah. The part right here, it's like that. That's the part that I don't really like about it. It's too long.
It's sometimes hard to be able to look at that and be like, oh, I want this to be just perfect there, but I think that looks really nice. I think that looks really cool. And the fact that you painted that yourself is always something to be happy about.
Yeah.
And then I see you've got some planets on this one here. How did you paint that one there?
With spray paint, we used cups to light, and then we spray painted around it.
And that was lots of fun?
Yes.
Yeah, that looks like that would be fun. And then you've got this one here. Can you tell me a little bit about this one? How did you paint that one? And why did you choose those colors?
Because those are pretty colors, and that's why I just don't know.
That if you're gonna paint, that's a great reason to paint. You like the colors and they're pretty colors.
My name is Grace Walters. I'm 10 years old, and I don't have a favorite color. I like black.
Black's a good color to like, at least, though. So
Yeah.
I usually wear black all the time myself. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the things that you make as an artist?
What about myself? Let's see. I really like talking. I like doing spelling tests, and I like just drawing little funny comics.
So what kind of things do you like to paint?
Smiley faces.
Smiley faces?
Smiley faces.
That's pretty evident right there. I love that smiley face. So
It's you.
is there a reason you like smiley faces?
Because I'm always smiling.
That's a good enough reason for me here. So, and so what other things do you like to paint? What other ways do you like you said you like to draw as well too?
Yeah, I like to draw, like sketch with a pencil. I also like to spray paint. Like spray painting anything, really. One time I was spray painting the smiley face and I accidentally got a little bit on my shoes, and I was like, now I'm gonna want to spray paint my shoes. They were like cracks.
And did you?
No, my mom did not let me.
Well, I'm not gonna suggest that you do that at all. So, so spray painting. Where did you learn to do spray painting stuff?
Tiffany.
Have you been working with Tiffany for a while?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, and what kind of stuff have you been learning with Tiffany, apart from spray painting?
Probably how to mix them together, like to get the right perfect shade of blue, like dark blue and a little bit of light blue. Like sometimes it's hard to mix colors together to get the perfect color you want, or like you start painting with a different color and you can't find that color. Yeah, she helps me with like mixing colors together.
Yeah, well, that's that's a pretty good way to actually get that perfect color there.
Yeah.
Like the perfect the blues, perfect blacks, everything like that. Tell us a little bit more about the smiley face.
The smiley face, the first time I spray painted that smiley face, and I made like okay, this is like one of the 100 layers that I did in spray painting. I was like, no, wait, blue, no yellow, no green, no pink. And then I couldn't decide which color. And I'm just like, I'm going to do a smiley face. So I put the black on it, and then it started to crack. And it's because it had so many layers on it that it started to crack, and you can see like blue and pink under it.
Yeah, that is really neat. I thought that was intentional.
Nope. I did not want that to happen, and then I realized it actually is pretty beautiful.
Happy little accidents.
Very happy. Even he's happy.
He's very happy. So.
And then we stand on the sidewalk and see how many honks we could get. 117 honks.
That's a lot of honks.
A lot.
Was it just one person honking on the 117 times?
No, it was probably like 117 cars.
Yeah. That's really cool. How does that make you feel knowing that you made something that people are looking at and they're like responding so positively to that?
It makes me feel like I am really good at art, that I can still follow my dreams of being an artist, and that I know that I am good.
And so you've enjoyed working with Tiffany, and you've enjoyed working with the other people in the classes as well too?
Yeah. There's usually a class with Ella Iverson. Yeah, she goes to my school.
I think we actually interviewed Ella earlier today too. So yeah, because we're getting all of the Tiffany kids here. So they are
All of them.
So what kind of things why is art important to you? Why do you like art?
I think it's a way of creating yourself, even if it's just a piece of paper or a canvas. You can grab a pencil or a paintbrush and just do whatever your mind wants you to do. Like, you can just create.
Yeah, there's something neat about just being able to like have a blank paper and then you draw something on there and there's something there. You've created something yourself.
Yeah.
And like because you can create anything you want, really. So and you've said you like creating smiley faces. I see you've got this paper craft here.
Yeah, actually I did that in grade 2 for a Mother's Day gift.
Nice. That's really cool. It's kind of got that that 3D version of that too, which I really like. And then of course, art's great to be able to give to people, but it's also good to keep for yourself too.
Yeah.
Do you have that where do you have that smiley face hanging up?
In the laundry room.
It's a good place for a smiley face.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you would like to try to do with art in the future? Like anything at all?
I would probably want to try to sit in front of something and sketch it. That's a goal.
That'd be pretty cool. Do you have any ideas what you would want to sketch? Would it be like a person, a tiger?
A tree.
There's some really great trees around here too.
Really good trees.
Yeah. The Cariboo is famous for its trees.
Trees.
Mm-hmm. I love trees. I could just talk about trees all day. So.
Yeah.
So, do you have anybody that you like doing art with?
Wait, yes, I do. I love doing art with a couple people, actually. I love doing art with my best friend, Ellie. She goes to school with me. And we do little comics and bookmarks, and sometimes we write stories, and we have little pictures in them. I like doing art with my sister, because she's little, so we get to hand paint. I love getting messy. I love to sketch things with my mom. Like sometimes we do pastel art or we do tree leaves. I like doing it with my grandma. Sometimes I go to the lake with her and we have all this tree stuff and we grab different sticks or leaves and we can just paint over them and mark them onto paper. And that's mostly it.
Yeah, it must be pretty special, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be able to share that with so many neat people. And then art's fun to do with people.
It really is.
It is great to do that.
Okay, but first I want to say one thing. So a couple days ago, I started to try to draw something, and I was getting really mad because I couldn't really draw it. And then my dad told me that it's like your spelling words. You have to practice and practice and practice until you can finally get it right.
Absolutely.
And I think that was very wise of him.
It's a very wise thing to say and a very wise perspective. So, did you have a story about your grandma and your art that you would like to share?
Yeah. So I had a painting in the library. It's actually this one, my leaf one. And my grandma wanted to buy it. And I said, you can have it for free. And she's like, no, I want to buy it because actually she made the art walk. And she said that I made the art walk for artists to share their art and for them to for them to buy it, like other people to buy it. And that's why she said, well, let me like buy it.
And did she end up buying it?
Not yet. She's thinking of a price.
Ah, well, that's a pretty awesome thing for her to want to do, and to make sure that like you know that your work is valued and that
Yeah.
people want to see your work. And you were in the art walk then.
Yeah, I was for actually the very first time.
Nice. How was that? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was really fun. Sometimes I walk to the library and I go over and like, that's my painting. I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah, it's really good to be able to look at that and to look at your stuff like, yeah, you made that.
I did.
You did.
And I'm proud of myself.
And that's a really good way to look at that. And everybody else gets to see it, and you've got somebody who's might want to buy it.
Yeah. I did it.
I heard a little birdie say that you like dancing.
Yes, I really do. I'm doing tap this year. Tappity tap tap.
I used to do tap too.
Really?
Yeah, years ago. I've even performed tap on a professional stage before.
Oh my gosh.
It's tapping is really fun. I like tap. Do you do any other types of dance?
Last year I did jazz.
Jazz is great. Dance is such a really unique way of expressing yourself too. Artistic in a different method, calls upon different type of things than painting does.
Yeah, it really does.
A lot more sweat. Maybe not a whole lot more sweat. Maybe just a little bit more. So.
Well, I mean, like you're painting, like, am I gonna mess up this straight line? Am I?
Exactly. And if you mess up a dance step, it's like, okay, well, I'll just get it right next time. So.
Yeah.
I'm Aubrey. I'm 12 years old, and my favorite color is purple.
Purple's a good color. You're the second person who liked purple today. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the art that you do?
Well, I have a bunch of animals. I have 2 cats, 2 dogs, and these paintings are of my cats, Irene and Nacho.
Irene and Nacho.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And I really like to paint them. So, yeah.
I like them. And you told me earlier that they form a heart there.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of foresight to be able to plan ahead like that. That's really cool. So, and especially getting the cats to pose like that for like however long it takes. That's really neat. I did also hear from a little birdie that you've got a puppy. What and you do so, and are you doing training with that puppy?
Yeah, I do training with that puppy. I went to classes to like try and like figure out how to teach him to do these things, and it's like this agility course, and I'm also hoping that he can be a show dog.
Oh,
which I would find like would be something really cool to do.
that would be cool. I used to do 4-H a lot, and I always watched some of the other kids doing like the showmanship for dogs and things like that, and I thought that was really cool. I had a basset hound. I don't think he would have done anything like that. Did your puppy have a name?
Elvis is my puppy's name.
Good name. Good solid name.
Yeah.
So what is it that you like about art? And why is art important to you?
Well, I really like to draw like my own characters, and I like to paint my pets and stuff like that. And I just find it really fun because like they can be silly sometimes, and then I can paint silly things. And I find that kind of fun to do all those like poses, the dynamic poses sometimes.
I think that we don't have enough silly art. I think that we don't have enough silly things because I like silly stuff. And I'm happy to see that like there's other people that like silly things too. So what's the silliest thing that you've ever made?
I'm not entirely sure. I can't really remember, but I've got a ton of silly paintings. Those two kind of silly. I find them.
I like the way that they kind of draw the eye to like, because they're both very like they're very dynamic. So you look at them and you can kind of see there's like movement going on there. and they both like, and you can't help but look at them. I really like those paintings. And is this an original character of yours?
Yeah, sometimes I just kind of put things together and it makes a character.
That's good. I like that about artists, is that they're able to take a look at stuff and be able to like take pieces and things that they like from different things. Were you inspired by anybody or anything to make that character?
Not that I remember. I kind of like had a drawing before, and then I kind of redid that drawing.
So yeah, revisiting old stuff too. I like that. That's really good. So what are some of the things that do inspire you to create art?
My animals, and I like the fact that I could create stories with my characters, and like I could write the story out myself and draw it myself. I find it really cool how I could do that.
Yeah, that's really neat to hear. To be able to make your own stuff up. I mean, yeah, you can go. Lots of people can go on YouTube and find the other things up, but there is something special about making it up yourself. Do you have a favorite story that you've made that you'd like to share about, like with art that you've created before?
I haven't really finished any of mine yet, but I like have the stories kind of in my brain. I know like about my characters kind of.
I like that. That's really good. There is so much to be able to create, because it's really neat to be able to just think of something and it's now in the world. You can write it down and it's like, yeah, this is yours. You made that.
Yeah.
What type of art do you like to do? Do you usually do painting and drawings, writing? Do you do any other types of art?
I do paintings. I sketch on paper. Sometimes I'll draw on my iPad, which sometimes it's like slippery, so it's harder. But lots of times I don't paint as much, but I do draw. I draw more than I paint.
Yeah, I like drawing. What kind of, and I know you mentioned you draw like your animals, you draw characters. Do you draw anything else? Do you do self-portraits of yourself?
No, not really. I've tried to do some more realistic ones, but they don't always come out as good. They're still more on the cartoony kind of thing. Like it couldn't really fool anyone, but I did do a couple.
Nice.
Which are really fun.
Nice. I feel, yeah, it sounds like you do a lot of different stuff. I like that. And especially drawing. I find drawing really hard personally. I'm not very good at like looking and doing perspective and things like that. But I also, when I start doing things that aren't as realistic, that's when I feel like, okay, I actually don't mind doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do clay sometimes as well. So I make little clay figures, which are really.
So you've got some painting, you do a lot more drawing, and you do sculpting and clay too. That's really neat. I like that. Do you have a favorite sculpture that you've done before?
Sort of. I do a lot, and I can't really remember them all. I have just a bunch of tiny little figurines that I've done.
I think the fact that you do a lot being the reason why you can't remember all of the things you do is a fantastic reason to not remember things, because you're doing so much stuff there. So that's really neat. I really like hearing about that. So is there anything that you've wanted to do with art that you haven't done yet?
I feel like doing giant humongous paintings that I could just put in on a wall, just giant paintings overall. And because I've tried to do giant painting, a big canvas before, it didn't come out as good, but I still really like that painting.
Nice. Yeah, there's something to be said about definitely painting on a small scale, but then if you're again, we'll see if Tiffany will lend us this wall here and you could just paint on the entire wall there. What would you paint on that wall?
Well, painting, I feel like just painting giant things would be really fun because it's more time consuming. So probably maybe a giant portrait of Irene.
Perfect.
Yes.
I think that's a great idea. So we'll talk with Tiffany, see if we can get this wall here. Though I don't know if she's going to have enough walls by the time we're done with all the interviewed guests. So the last question now, in our normal in our normal interviews, I have special questions I ask at the end of this. I'm going to ask you one question. If you could be given if you had a piece of advice to be given to anybody about being an artist, what would your advice be?
Practice.
Practice.
That's it. Just practice.
Yeah, you can't argue with the simplicity of that.
Just try your best.
Hey, that's good. I like that.
Drawings are never perfect, but they always can look amazing, and they do. In your way and how you like it.
Yeah, get messy.
Get messy, yeah. You like that about art?
Yeah.
It's pretty.
I love getting messy.
I can definitely attest. Getting messy is a super fun thing to do.
To follow your heart in what you paint.
That's wonderful. I think that is a fantastic piece of advice.
Thank you.
Well, I think that it's like some people don't want to like paint things because they don't think they can. But I think they should still give it a try, even if it doesn't come out as good as they'd expect. Like, they could always do that and then try again another time once their skills are more on a higher level, maybe.
I think that's a great idea. It's that, yeah. To not be discouraged by the first attempt there, it's a hard thing to do, but I think the more we talk about it, the better.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, that's part 1 of the Cariboo Art Beat Kids episode. It was a pretty incredible undertaking to get everyone on camera, and we couldn't have done it without the support of the parents, the kids, and of course, Tiffany Jorgensen of the Cariboo Art Beat Studio. So a huge thank you goes out to all of them. Stay tuned for next week as we finish up part 2, and until then, take care of yourselves.